In imperial system of measurements, foot is the standard basic unit of length. All other units of length are derived from foot. For example, if we divide a foot into 12 equal parts, then each division will be called 1 inch. It means there are 12 inches in 1 foot. If we combine 3 feet, it will be called 1 yard. If we combine 5.5 yards together, it will make 1 rod or 1 pole or 1 perch. And 40 yards will be equal to 1 furlong and 8 furlongs are equal to 1 mile. These are the most commonly used units of length in imperial measurement system. There are still bigger units which are rarely used. However, if we need to convert from one unit to another unit, we can use this table. If we want to convert from bigger unit to smaller unit, we will always multiply. For example, if we want to convert 1 mile into furlong, we will simply multiply by 8. And if we want to convert furlong into rods, we will multiply by 40. And if we want to convert rods into yard, we will simply multiply by 5.5. So this will be 5.5, and for yards into feet, we will multiply by 3, and for feet into inches, we will multiply by 12. And that's why we have placed an arrow in this direction. While going from right to left, we always multiply. So for going for right to left, for right to left, left we multiply. And while we go from left to right, for left to right, for left to right, we will always divide. Therefore, if we want to convert 1 inch to a foot, we will divide by 12. And similarly, this time we will divide by 3. This time we will divide by 5.5. This time we will divide by 40. And while converting furlong into miles, we will divide by 8. This is the table of conversion which we can use to convert one unit into another unit. Let's do these questions to better understand conversion of units within imperial measurement system. So the first question here is convert the following into indicated units. Let us convert 17 feet into inches. So the first question is 17 feet. Now identify in the table where are feet, and if we want to convert them into inches, definitely the table says that multiply it by 12, or even we know that 17 times, if we write equivalent of foot, that is equal to 12 inches. So this will be equal to 204 inches. 204 inches. This is answer to question number 1. And in second question, we want to convert 134 inches into feet. Second question is 134 inches. 134 inches. And we want to convert it into feet. There are two ways we can do it. Either we can divide inches by 12, and that will help us convert these inches into feet. Like, let's do this 134, and let's do the long division. And for long division, we are going to divide it by 12, and 12 one time. We're going to write 12 over here and then subtract. The remainder will be 1. We bring down 4, and once we bring down 4, this will be equal to 14. We do one more time, this will be 12, and same thing again, we subtract, and the remainder we have is 2. So here what we get is 134 inches are equal to 11 feet and 2 inches, because there are 2 extra inches, so 2 inches. But practically what happens, usually we use a calculator to convert this calculation from inches to feet. If we use calculator, then result will be a bit different. If we use calculator, then what would happen? This conversion will be based on the decimal system. So if we do 134, here the basic question is 134 inches, and if we do that division 134 and we divide it by 12, this will be equal, this will be number of feet, and this is going to give you 11.16 feet. Now we can understand what 11 means, but 0.16 doesn't make sense to us, because we know that 0.16 is a fraction of a foot, but how big we still don't know. If we need feet and inches, we can take the decimal part, consider decimal part. So decimal part is equal to 0.16. If we want to convert it into inches, we can multiply it by 12 and we can divide it by 12. And here is 1.92. 1.92 divided by 12. Ignore the denominator. Ignore the denominator and just the numerator. 1.92 is almost equal to 2 inches. These are the conversions, and here we can write 11 feet and 2 inches. And by the way, this feet is represented by 1 dash above the number, and inches are represented by 2 dashes on the number. So this is same way of reading 11 feet 2 inches by 11, 1 time dash, and 2 inches means 2 dashes. This is how we can convert from a decimal system into proper imperial measurement system. Or even if we want to convert a fraction into inches, we can do that. And now the next question. The next question is equal to, let's take a look on the third question, is that we want to convert 21 yards into inches. If we want to convert 21 yards, so question number 3 here, 21 yards. For converting yards, let's refer back to our table of conversion and look where are yards, and then first we will convert these yards into feet and then feet to inches, because our origin is yards and destination is inches. So we first multiply it with 3 and then we will multiply it with 12. We can at one time either multiply with 36, but if you want to do it in 2 steps, you are fine. If you want to combine both multiplication factors and get 36 the product, that's fine too. Whichever way you want to work. And here let us do in 2 steps. So 21 times 3 feet, and here 21 times 3 is equal to 63 feet, and let's convert feet into inches now. So this time this will be 63 and this will be 12 inches, and the answer would be 756 inches. 756 inches. And now the last part is that we want to convert 1.8 miles into yards. So 1.8 miles. So on the chart, identify where the miles are. That is your origin. And then from mile to furlong, furlong to rod, and rods to yard. So first we will multiply with 8, then we will multiply with 40, and then we will multiply with 5.5. Either you can do it in 3 steps, or you can take the product of 8, 40 and 5.5. Whatever number you get, you can simply multiply with that number and your units will be converted from miles to yards. So let's do it again in steps. So this will be equal to 1.8, and this time we are going to convert miles into furlongs. So this will be furlongs, and 1.8 times 8 would be equal to 14.2 furlongs. 14.2 furlongs. And now let's convert furlongs into poles or rods. 14.2 times 40 times 40 poles. Perch, rods, these are one and the same thing. So let's write it for poles, and this will give us 14.2 times 40 will be equal to 576 poles. 576 poles. And now when we convert poles into yards, we will again multiply by 5.5. So this time 576 times 5.5 yards. 5.5 yards. And the answer will be equal to 3168 yards. 3168 yards.